Now, there are only two ways to make money. The first is through a positive sum exchange, a win-win exchange, where you provide a product or service to someone, they win, and they pay you in fair exchange with money. You win. That's a positive sum exchange. The other way to make money is through a zero-sum exchange, which is a win-lose situation. If you win, someone else loses. If you lose, someone else wins. An example of a positive sum business is any positive sum business, any service-based business. For example, Apple, they provide a product or a service, a new iPhone, you pay in fair exchange, that's a win-win situation. The consumer wins because they get a new product or service that serves their life, and the producer wins because they generate income. An example of a zero-sum income would be trading, or any sort of poker, or any sort of professional athlete. These are all zero-sum forms of income. Each and every single one of you are developing your zero-sum income, which is your trading. You're finding out your trading strategy, putting it into a mechanical trading edge, mastering your trading mindset so you can stick to that trading strategy, and then you're scaling up with more and more capital, and you're going to have an edge. You're going to win, hopefully, more than what you lose, and that's what's going to generate you income over time. Now, in the individual trades, you may win some, you may lose some, but over the large sample space, you're going to end up profitable with your edge. So you're all developing your zero-sum income skill. Now, what's wise is eventually when you develop your skill and you become a consistently profitable trader, to then pick up a certain round of funding or investment, and you're now turning your zero-sum income into a positive sum income. You're managing someone else's money and you're making profit on a performance fee or on a split. So you've taken your zero-sum income and you've turned it into a positive sum income. You can also take something that you love doing, a certain skill that you have, and create a product or service around that, develop it and provide it to other people, help them get what they want in life, and you'll get what you want in life. And that's a way to develop a positive sum income. I encourage every trader to have both. You all obviously have your zero-sum income through your trading, and in the meantime, while you're developing that skill, have a positive sum income in the form of a job, a part-time or a full-time job where you allow someone else to take advantage of your time and your skills, and they pay you in fair exchange through a guaranteed income. When you develop your trading into a good enough, consistently profitable source of income, you'll eventually leave your 9 to 5 or part-time job, and you'll start to do your trading full-time. You'll start to take on funding and manage other people's funding, and you'll have a positive sum income that way. And then eventually, when you get your trading good enough, and you get to a certain state where you're generating consistent profitability at scale, you'll have more time to then develop a positive sum business based on something that you absolutely love to do. You know you can contribute to other people's lives, and you can get paid in fair exchange. Maybe that's a service-based business or something that you love to do, and a lot of you will have that trajectory with your trading. Ideally, this is the goal. Ideally, the goal is you want to get out of any sort of non-mobile income, like a job, being in a certain place at a certain time. And you want to transcend space altogether in terms of your income. And you want to ideally have all your income in a form of a mobile income. And ideally, you want to go from non-mobile to mobile, but then you want to go from active to as close to passive as possible. So for example, the first step at your job may be going from a 9 to 5 job at a certain office space to a working from home situation, so you can transcend space and you can work mobily. And then ideally the goal is to go to from active income, which is you working from home 9 to 5, to semi-passive, which would be your trading, or semi-active, which would be your trading. And trading then develops, and you take on more and more funding. You make more and more money from your trading, and then when you get that into a good place and it requires only a few hours a day, you may then look to do some sort of online business or develop a service-based business that is more positive sum, or you may start to do more fund management and manage other people's money. And this is a semi-active mobile form of income, which is a great place to be. And all the while, when you're generating your income from your trading and from your online business and from your fund management, you're then funding your long-term investments like low-cost index funds. And these are compounding, 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 compounding. And in 10, 20, 30, 40 years' time, that then pays you a dividend, which is a completely passive form of income. That dividend yield on those investments is a completely passive form of investment. Now, obviously, that takes some time. But when you build your portfolio big enough over time and let compound interest do the work, and you get your money working for you, then that eventually pays you a sizable dividend that you can live off. So I'm going to show you how to do all of this in this YouTube video.